We'll get started. I'd like to call this meeting of the Woodstock Village Board of Trustees to order. The first item on the agenda is additions and deletions to the posted agenda. Eric, do you have anything?
I don't have anything, but I believe you have the permits.
Yes. Trustees, do you guys have anything?
No.
Okay. I've got a couple of things. We have a permit from the PTO from West and Prosper Valley for food on the green. You all have that. She thought she sent it in and I've forgotten. So let's add that with all the other permits. And then just under the food foliage discussion, just as part of foliage, I wanted to talk about village cleanup and setup and that sort of thing. So got that. Anybody have any objections to adding that?
No objection.
Nope. Okay. And one more thing is I'd like to move the voting on the parking ordinance to right after the village public trust funds report. Is anybody object to that? Potential vote. Thank you. Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, we'll put that after the village public trust fund vote. Okay, anything else?
No, I'm
Frank? Okay, good. Next, we'll move on to citizens' comments. There is a 3-minute limit for all citizens. Are there any citizens here or online who have comments?
Yes. Hi.
Just a minute.
I know you want to time me, but nobody else. I know that's what happened last time too. I'll let you set your time up.
Okay, go ahead.
Great. So my name is Nicholas Selden. I reside in the town of Woodstock and my business is in the village of Woodstock. And I have come here today to discuss very briefly during citizens' comments the order that came out from the judge on Friday in the Joe Swanson litigation. And so he has now won the first major part of his case. And he now has a judge that has decided that what you did to him in demoting him was erroneous and had no legal support. So what's very important about this, of course, is that this is damning for his civil action against you for breach of contract. This means he wins. He has now been guaranteed a win against Woodstock based upon this decision. So, I just want to point out that your decision was now decided as unlawful and erroneous. And I would also like to point out that you have him working on midnights right now at a substantially reduced income rate when you know that what you did is unlawful and erroneous. And I don't understand how you justify this to yourselves or to the taxpayers that are here today or to the taxpayers that live in Woodstock. What you're doing is you're setting them up for a huge verdict. This is wrong on so many different levels. So there is a news story that has come out. It's been posted in the Vermont Standard on their Facebook account. And I encourage you to look at some of the comments because these people we don't know. I don't know them. A couple of the comments. One says, the only real question is how many zeros will be at the end of the verdict. And another comment says, this is what happens when leaders think they are rulers. Now they will learn the hard way. This is what people are saying about Woodstock and all of you. You need to do the right thing and put an end to what Mr. Duffy has done. The village's lawyer has charged over $200,000 to give you terrible legal advice. This is $200,000 of money that should have been used for taxpayer purposes. This was unbudgeted. You did not budget this money to use on legal fees. You are wasting money that has been earmarked and reserved for other purposes. And Mr. Khan lied on July 8th when he said it was not taxpayer money, and he lied on July 22nd when he said that he never said it was taxpayer money. He said it was not taxpayer money twice on July 8th, and Ms. Blakeman shook her head in agreement with him. That is not true. This is taxpayer money. And I have, like I said last time, I've got the checks right here. These are unreimbursed. No insurance has covered this. This is taxpayer money earmarked for other purposes. So even though Mr. Duffy has urged you to make a legally erroneous decision, which you chose to support in spite of all the law that Joe's lawyer has given to you before you made your decision, you decided to give him a $10,000 a year raise. So now he makes $120,000 a year. And, this is ultimately going to be seen by a jury as the malicious and petty act that it was. And now you find yourselves in the middle of a $5 million lawsuit.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that has a comment?
Anybody up there?
Any other public comments? Okay, then we'll move on. Next item on the agenda is reports. This is the manager's report. Eric?
Yeah, just two quick things. One is we have a new person hired for the economic development director position. They're going to start on September 8th. The name is Abby Sherman. They come from Kilton, the state before that, and then I believe Bethel before that. They worked in economic development for the state as well, so we're very excited for what she can do. She joins us in a few weeks, getting highly recommended through various municipal experts in Vermont. So we think it'll be a good fit for us and kind of get us going on the economic development that we need here. The last thing I have to say, it's pretty public now, but the town suffered a great loss. So 2 weeks ago when Chris Barr passed away, he was a public works director for just over a year. Worked for the town for 6 years, eighth generational Woodstock resident in the same section. You know, I don't have much to say besides it's been a very sad 2 weeks here, not only in the public works department, but also in town hall. Chris would come through probably once a week and kind of just brighten the place up with his jokes, his laughter, his way of being. We all miss that these days. We're trying the best we can to keep things going internally with public works and kind of in town hall as well. But it's a great loss. I mean, my thoughts are with his family, his father, his mother, his girlfriend, his daughter. And if people are interested in helping out, please reach out to me and we'll connect you to help you out. That's what I have.
Thank you.
Oh, so I should say there's a celebration of life scheduled on the date right.
The
The
23rd.
23rd of September, South Woodstock Fire Station. I believe it's 11 a.m. to 2, but I'll confirm that as well.
Okay, anything else for your manager's report?
No.
Next is the financial report.
Yeah, so we're pretty new to the fiscal year, so there's not a lot on there to try to talk about. What I will say is the village is projected to end surplus for the last fiscal year. That will obviously depend on the audit when they come in. There's always last minute adjustments. But we end the year in a pretty solid place for the village. So I just want to let the trustees know that. That's what I have. So I'm happy to answer any questions.
Where is the estimate?
If you give me a few minutes, I'll pull up what the most recent one was. But I believe we're in a range of $50,000. Like I said, similar to what we'll talk about tax rate in a few minutes, it'll change if there's any last minute additions or reassessments we have to do on the audit.
And it doesn't look like there's much that has come in so far. Is that just because?
For revenue?
Well, for revenue or like, just under police, it doesn't like, doesn't look like a lot. Well, salaries and wages, it's like 12%, education is 174%. So that's already over.
Yeah.
Is that like front loading things?
Are you talking about I'll just hold up the thing, you right answer?
Yeah, under the village police department, we've used 12% of salaries and wages.
The education, I believe, is going to be, we have an officer in the academy. So that's
Oh,
where
okay.
the money goes from there, yeah. Yeah, but I think we've only had 1, 2, maybe 3 payrolls so far in this fiscal year. We haven't reconciled any revenue yet, so that's why the revenue's not there. We haven't sent any tax bills out, so no taxes for revenue there as well. So you're not going to see any major trend probably until September, October, once we have things under our belt.
The benefits are 24%. So it's just, yeah. Is that just,
Are you on the police again?
yeah, under the police? Is there like a big chunk of money that goes out at the beginning for certain benefits?
Yeah, so that will be, I don't want to confirm, it could be some of the stipends.
Okay,
But when we look at that line, so that should not be that high.
okay.
The same as salaries and wages and costs.
Yeah, my assumption is maybe some delegate that position they shouldn't be, and that's why there's a big difference, but I'll confirm that.
Any other questions? Frank, any finance questions?
No.
Thank you. Anything else on finance, Eric?
Not my end, no.
Next item is the police report, the interim Chief
Yeah,
is not here
Yeah, he
tonight.
had a busy night last night. He was up working until about midnight last night on a certain situation. It's also his son's birthday, so he asked if he could not attend tonight.
Okay.
But Michelle Sutherland's here that has the update he would have given. You want to?
Okay, so we are in the process of getting our cruiser built, which should be back in about 2 or 3 months. We hired a new sergeant. He will start August 24th. Officer Sanuj Aurora, he's in the second week of the Vermont Police Academy. We're in the process also of updating our police website. Kitty's going to be helping us with the update. And the meter revenue for July was $18,318.67, and the summary is in your packet. Yeah.
And are you seeing because you're looking at parking all the time, are you seeing any differences? Are you seeing anything
It's
unusual?
going up.
Okay,
It's going up every month. It goes up a little bit. We're compact. I mean, it's the same as,
Yeah.
last year at this time, pretty much the same. So,
okay. And are you seeing extra violations or anything? Or it's
all
pretty,
about the same.
everything's pretty standard? Okay,
Same.
thank you. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. Thank you. Moving on. Now we're going to move into our votes. The first item on our agenda is the Zach's Place Turkey Trot Parade permit. Nor Junior, I assume you're here for that. Can you come on up and give us your name, even though I obviously know it?
Okay.
Both of you, everyone. That's you. The newbie, we love it.
Norm Freitas, president of the Zach Place Board,
And Beth Robinson, executive director.
and we're here to, we applied for a permit for the turkey trot. Nothing has changed. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. No dogs, and that went well last year. I mean, we can't control the
Occasional, but
the
yeah,
spectators, but we can control the
I
revenue.
did notice a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice a difference. The crowd was calmer.
And I will meet with Sergeant O'Keefe, a week or two before and talk about where we're at with traffic. We doubled our traffic control people,
Okay,
our volunteer traffic. And that really worked out, I think, better. It just was, it's pretty busy when you have 100 people running around.
Ran very smoothly.
Yeah, it did. It ran smoothly. And the other thing that really helped was we got permission from the East End, from Ottaquiche, the Ottaquiche Health Center and the Masonic Temple, Billings Farm, the Rec, the Country Club.
Mill Building.
And Mill Building. So we have parking there and we're advertising parking there. So
We
That's
put
great.
signage up that we had parking.
really did help a lot with the congestion right around by the green. We don't allow anybody on the green, on the inside of the green. We cone that off first thing in the morning to try to keep that to the well. It's good. Other than that, same.
and about this same amount of people that you usually have?
We hope.
They're starting to sign up already.
They're signing up already.
Oh, good. So I should expect emails like every 3 days,
Oh, yeah.
as usual.
Yeah.
The
That's
no-
the second best thing about the turkey trot.
Yeah.
It's the last email you're gonna get. That's
So many. I love it. I appreciate it. The one thing I see here is that we need an updated COI.
yeah, the insurance, we,
Right.
I
thought we got.
We-
I
we
thought
did
I
get it.
included
we have.
One
So-
year, one of the
Yeah.
years dated 7/19.
9/6. Oh, no, it expires on the September 6th, 2020.
Okay, well, we have one, we will get it.
Okay.
Yeah, we had we talked about it, and I noticed, so,
That's
Yeah.
what I thought I sent it to Kitty. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times they won't send it to you until your old one is expired, so you might just wait.
Oh.
But-
Maybe,
Yeah, but as long as it gets indicated.
yep, we'll have it in city.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure we have. Yeah.
Okay.
Lord, make a motion that pending the COI, we approve the United Place Turkey Trot application as presented.
Second, is there any discussion? Frank? Are there any public comments about this issue? No? In that case, a motion again? Well, motion to pass it. Go for it.
I made a motion.
Yeah, okay. All in favor?
Please second.
Okay.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carries.
Do you want a copy of either of these, the list of the parking?
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll take it. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know whether that got.
It did not, but we'd love to have that. Yeah, yeah, that can go to Kitty.
And I'll get the other.
Awesome. Okay,
Thank you. Thank
thank you, guys. Good luck. I'll sign up early this year. Next item on the agenda is the Green Bunny use of the green. Jess, are you here?
I'm here. Hi.
Okay, can you let us know who you are and where you're from and what you're asking us?
Yeah, so I'm Jessica Kirby. I live in Woodstock. My business partner and I'm not sure if she's on, started the Green Bunny, which is a cold pressed juice business. We've been selling at Market on the Green, which has been going really well. And we were hoping to set up in the green for several weekends during foliage. We're kind of open if there's preferred times. We thought that mornings would be better, just based on the fact that it's cold pressed juice, and we would probably also have granola bars and granola, which is just more of a breakfasty thing. And so our setup would be basically what we have at Market on the Green, which is just a simple white tent with our sign, a table. We have a few coolers that are behind the table for the juice. And then we have like a little chalkboard sign, which we could or could not use, if there's any feelings about that. And we were thinking, I think I wrote down the hours, but we were thinking something like 9:30 to 12:30, or could be shorter, could be longer, depending on your feelings. We're sort of open to what is preferred.
And it looks like, so we have your COI. Did you pay the application fee yet?
Yeah, we paid it online. I think Candace did that, so she probably has the receipt for that.
That's fine. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so trustees were, obviously this is part of our conversation about food during foliage, because they're asking for sort of the prime dates. I know we talked about last time, I think, doing something where we just sort of say, first couple of people get in and put it on dates. I know Lisa had an idea about how to do that, and I think because this is not a normal application because it's during foliage.
What you have, you want to do a Google, what is that?
The hope, yeah, is if we do just a Google survey where it'd be limited who can sign up and when they can sign up. I'm still working out how we could do that. So it'd be on a first come first served basis. People could pick their dates.
Okay.
And once it hits the maximum allowable vendors, no one can sign up for those days anymore. I was going to make sure we can do that. So
Yeah, no, and I think that's if we decide between the five of us, how many people we want maximum per day. The people that we've already approved, you know, obviously they've gone through the process, so they already get a slot. And then anybody else who comes in, we can either have a special meeting, or if it's just the next two people that come in, they can just take it.
Yeah.
So what do you all think about that?
Yeah, I mean, how many people do we want on the Green Onion?
Well, I think we'll probably have, the White Cottage is there most days. So I think that's already one. And so it's how many additional do we want?
Well, they're there Thursday or Monday.
Yeah,
But we want a minimum of 4
okay,
on the green itself, I think.
okay.
I think that it sounds to me like they want to do more of a breakfast sort of, or brunch, we'll call it, idea. And I think that that's a market that hasn't been tapped into at all.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great idea. And I think that in conjunction with the others for more lunch and afternoon, I think that we can figure out a way to make that work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on any of those days, we have up to 4 lunches.
They're one.
Well, no, they're not. There's none of them. And
So we can almost do slot.
Breakfast,
Right.
Almost, but.
Yeah.
like a 9 to 12 and then an 11 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so 4 max with per slot per day. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense to me. But Jessica, how about some scrambled eggs?
I do not have that in my mental or physical capacity. I wish I did, because I know it would probably do well.
Trustees, do you have any other questions for Jeff about this?
No.
Nope.
And you're bringing, you're taking all your trash and recycling with you. So.
Yep,
And you are plugging into, you need electricity, is that right?
we do not.
You don't, okay. Oh, they don't, okay.
Which makes it easier.
Yes, it does. Okay. Sounds good to me. Yes.
I move that we accept, Green Bunny LLC on the green, tentatively at the dates they requested. And, times and under the conditions that are in their application. Second.
Are there any public comment on this application? And I think the one thing that we need to also figure out is the fee, which if we want to talk more about that more later during the foliage conversation, because since we need food, we traditionally don't charge them the normal green fee because we are in desperate need of food this time of year. So we'll talk about that later in the agenda, and then we'll make sure that Katie can follow up with you about
Okay.
whatever the is.
Okay. Thank you.
We need to vote.
You can vote yes.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion.
That was a motion to go into the vote. Anyway, go ahead.
You to accept it.
Okay. Second. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Motion carried.
If I could hop in real quick, I want to thank Jess. She's been doing a great job working with us on fall foliage already. We have some she has some great ideas that we're trying to put into place to kind of make foliage much better for tourists and they have a better experience. And I want to thank Jess for that. So thank you, Jess.
thank
you.
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 Second, I think we have the OYC thing with the add to the agenda.
Oh, it's already on here.
Is it on there?
Yeah. The permit amendment, Woodstock community.
It's already on there under the, Woodstock, community event, community day.
I didn't see it, sorry.
Next item on the agenda is Bookstock 2026 use of green and banner permit. He's here to talk about that.
I am.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
in some sense, this is exactly the same as last year. But we are in terms of the use of the green itself, we are still trying to figure out. If you remember, we had a disastrous weather situation, and we are considering different approaches for who's going to manage what's on the green. We've talked with the chamber about having, because they're better at managing some of the aspects of a green event than we are. And so they have tentatively, informally agreed to have a kind of a market on the green type event on the green. And we would probably have one relatively small tent, similar to the children's tent, maybe a little bit bigger. That was a 10 by 20 tent. It was like a real tent, if you know what I mean, as opposed to a pop-up tent. But we won't have the large exhibitor tent for sure. That was a huge 60 by 80, 5,000 square foot tent. And we probably will hold the book sale indoors probably at the elementary school. So we're trying to finalize that. But we wanted to reserve the green for the weekend. We've paid the fee. I asked that we could use the deposit from the past year, which hasn't been returned. I forgot to ask for it to be returned, but you already have last year's deposit. So I think one question that you might ask, and I don't have the answer to, is whose insurance, if the chamber does manage the events on the green, whose insurance policy would it cover? And we're in the process of talking to our insurance company about, we don't have, as you remember last year, we don't have the certificate of insurance for 2026. We have the certificate of insurance for 2025, and you guys have that information. And we're going to use the same insurance company with the same policy. So anyway, so the exact, it's really the management of the tents and the activities on the green is up in the air, and the exact tents that would be there would be up in the air. If the chamber, one possibility and the most likely one is that it's just like Market on the Green, which is that people have pop-up tents and there's only one kind of bigger tent that is in the place of maybe three pop-up tents. And that we won't have the same kind of issues we had, like, for example, with the tents being open overnight and we have to have a path through and all of that stuff. It would be more like a Market on the Green. So if that raises any questions or concerns and so forth, then now, it would be good to know it now rather than, it would be good to know it early. So.
It raises a question for me. I really think it's a separate application. If you want the chamber to have an event on the green, like Market on the Green, which is, to me, there's nothing to do with Woodstock. Although if you want food for Woodstock, I can understand that. But otherwise, it seems like a separate thing altogether.
Well, I think, yeah, really, when I say like Market on the Green, I think that they would be one approach is that they would be doing it under our, I suppose, guide. In other words, they would be a vendor to us in effect. They're managing things. We're willing to take responsibility and insurance. We're willing to take responsibility for it. It doesn't have to be done that way if that presents a problem. But we're not. When I say Market on the Green, what I mean is vendors with pop-up tents, as opposed to, we had 10,000 square feet of the big staked tents and so forth, which require, 24 hours of preparation and 8 hours of tear down and all of that stuff. And we're trying to move away from that. We're trying to move away from that to the degree that we can. But if we were to do it, what I'm describing, so we're not going to have people selling corn and potatoes. We're going to try to get literary vendors, but there might also be art vendors and so forth. We would love to have, the Green Bunny and the kind of food options that Market on the Green has. And by food options, I mean people serving food to the visitors. We clearly want to have that as well. And the chamber has those contacts and knows how to manage the people coming and parking and setting up the tents and doing all of that. So we're really sort of, in my mind, we would be subcontracting that activity to them. And we're prepared to take responsibility for it. But if that creates a problem, there's more than enough time for us to work it out, with a different kind of application.
I'm trying to be clear, John. And it said including food and music. So it's not really food and music.
Sorry, could you say it again?
Your application says food and music. This is typical.
Well, there is food and music at Market on the Green.
Yes, I know, but there's other things too. So is this limited to food and music for this event?
Oh, no. Sorry. No. Sorry. It should have said vendor. Sorry, I apologize. No, it should say vendors, food and music. And also potentially a book stock, not potentially, very likely a book stock children's tent, which would be very similar, just a little bit, probably a little bit bigger. We want to expand it. It's similar to the children's tent we had last year, which has, reading. It has, kids' activities in it, but not anything that requires kind of equipment or anything of that sort. It's just, books and art activities, face painting, things like that. Non-industrial, it doesn't require equipment.
That sounds very much like part of Bookstock.
Yeah.
I would really like to see the chamber come and describe what they would be doing, separate than the spade aspect that's in this.
Okay, well, it sounds to me as if really what if we're going to take responsibility for it, I think we should be the ones to describe it, and we have to work out with the chamber what we would like them to do for us. So I'm happy to postpone this and answer that question. Maybe I can just check now if there are any other questions and so forth, and then I totally understand your question is very reasonable, Jeffrey. We can resubmit this.
Okay.
Is it okay? Does it present a problem if we were to subcontract, so to speak, the chamber, and that we were the ones responsible and so forth? Does that work, or does that work? Or if not, what would be a better approach?
I would prefer that it come under one because I think it just makes it who is the leader, when we have questions, it's Bookstock, not who is it. And then, and honestly, I think that this is also just a really great example for all of us of two organizations coming together and partnering for something and joining forces and resources, which is helpful. Because we only have so many people and resources. So I like the idea, but I'm with, Jeffrey about like, let's just get a little bit more detail so we know what we're talking about.
Well, and you want clear lines of responsibility.
Yeah, I mean, if you're making the permit, we want to be able to say, John is our contact person, and it's not Lauren over at the chamber or whoever it is.
No, I understand. No, that's reasonable. Okay, good. Are there any other questions about the?
So would it suffice if they come back and say they want 18 vendors on the 5 food, 5 music,
Yeah.
5 self snacks, and then it doesn't matter who runs it. Is that what you would prefer, just to know what?
Yeah, I think just knowing what it is, because if it's not exactly I get the idea of like, there will be food, there will be people selling tchotchkes, whatever. And that the chamber knows how to do that, but will it be like that? Will it be something different? Where is there gonna be like 18 places selling food? Will it be 3? Well, and I know you can't answer all those questions this early, but just get a sense.
Okay, no, yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. Okay, good. So we'll come back with that, with exactly what you said.
And in addition to that, if all of those things, so is everything happening Friday through Sunday, or is it just books on one day and then the food and all the other stuff is just on one day?
No, I think it's likely to all be on one day this time.
Okay, so if it's Friday through, so your Friday and Sunday are just for setting up and breaking down?
Yeah, this was not fully. This was a mix of last year's application and the new ideas, and it wasn't properly implemented. To be honest, we still haven't. I didn't anticipate these questions. They're good questions. We haven't precisely decided. Bookstock is going to have activities starting as early potentially as Thursday night and continuing through Sunday noon. But the green is going to be more limited. It'll certainly be all day Saturday. I think it will probably only be all day Saturday. And if we don't have many of the huge tents, we're not going to need, a whole day beforehand and a whole day afterwards to tear it down. So we'll get more detailed about this before we submit another application. Hopefully we'll do it in a month. We'd like to kind of hold the date if that's possible without a permit being approved yet, or at least be told if another application comes in so that we would be, we could get an answer to your questions without losing the date.
Yeah.
We can hold it.
Yeah, you have better.
Yeah, John, will you be ready for the next trustees meeting in September?
I think we will. It depends a little bit on the chamber, but I think we will. I've talked to Lauren and Beth, and we're all in conceptual agreement, but I think getting to the level of detail that you appropriately want, we just have to make sure we can do that. So I'll keep you posted, but my intention is to come back in September. Is it a month from now, September?
Yeah, second Tuesday. And John, we can talk offline if you want some assistance on how to put it together. I'm happy to help.
Okay. All right, that's great. Actually, would it be appropriate, no matter what the answers to this question is, could we do well, the same thing is true for the banner. We definitely want the banner.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to handle that now, or we could handle that next month too, as long as we don't lose the banner.
Yeah, we can do the banner now.
Okay.
Motion that we allow the banner for the dates indicated for, Woodstock.
Could I just, if you're approving the banner, you're basically approving the time period for that. So
That approves, yes, that would be fine. It's just the details within that time.
Okay.
If their date changes, they can come back in.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Our date is not changing. We're locked in. We've got authors locked in, and we've got hotels, and the date's not going to change. The weekend date. We said 5/8 to 5/15. I wasn't sure whether the banner. I thought you have like a regular start and stop for 1 week. So I don't know if I have the days exactly right, but the week before Bookstock.
The week before, that would be the appropriate.
But we're not changing Bookstock. Bookstock is going to be the 15th, the Friday through the Sunday, the same basic weekend we had it this past year.
So then it would be 11th through the 18th, because we usually put new things up on Mondays. So that would be Monday the 11th through Monday the 18th.
Correct. Thank you. I didn't know when.
So we'll change.
Seton, I have his dates locked into my color coded calendar. So John, you're locked in with me. I have your dates saved, so you're good to go, at least on my end. I have your dates saved. No one's going to take your spot for the banner or for that weekend.
Well, we're moving the banner dates.
We're moving the banner dates.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
The 11th
18th.
to 11th to the 18th.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot easier to work with Kitty directly than it is with all of you guys. If we could just have her just make these assignments on her color-coded calendar, right?
Sorry, we're trying to live up. Okay.
I second it.
Is there any public discussion about this issue? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And I'll be back. I think I'll be back in September, and thank you for the questions and the feedback.
Kitty, can you go ahead and just add them to our agenda for September, please?
Yep, I will. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the Comedy Fest banner. Is there somebody here to talk about that?
But it's for July.
Yeah, hi, no, this is Matt Vita. So we do the film festival in July, and we did do a common application. So I submitted on July 3rd to Kitty an application. We do the film festival in July, which just wrapped out, and then our sister festival is the comedy festival, which this will be our 4th year in December. So we submitted one payment and one application.
Okay, but we're not doing that because it's passed. So
No, that one's done. He's doing.
yes, that's what I was saying.
They're doing the December banner permit for the it's on. There you have all the information right there.
Okay. I don't know. Kitty, do we have anybody for that? Looks like it is December 1 through the 8th.
Yeah, they just did. So Matt, they just did the comedy fest, and this is for the film festival, or do I have that backwards?
Vice versa. So December is comedy. Yep, and I've got it. Yep.
Oh yeah, because the film festival just happened. Okay, that's what it was. Sorry, I had those two backwards in my head. So this is for the comedy fest, and it's the first week of December.
Yep, exactly.
So then this is for December 1st through December 8th, because we always put them up and take them down on Mondays.
Yes.
Okay, and Kitty, there's nobody that's reserved that spot yet?
No, they got there before, so I put them into that slot, and they've already paid their application fee.
Also is,
Yeah, the Wausau band is the next week. We're for the 8th.
Yeah, Wausau band is like the 12th or the 13th. I don't have the calendar in front of me right now.
We usually do our event the week before Wausau. So I believe Wausau is the following week.
Yep. Okay. Trustees, do you have any questions about the banner?
Nope.
Okay.
move that we accept the Vermont Comedy Festival banner with the dates December 1st until the 8th, 2020.
I second it.
Is there any public comment on this issue? Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the Scoops sidewalk permit. Is there anybody from Scoops? Oh.
Scott Smith with that Scoops. So I'm applying to do the same crowd control that I've done over the last few years. From 918 to 1027, and we generally only put it out if the line goes out the door, and so if it's a rain day, we don't do it. So such. Last year, we instituted a maze inside the building to try to keep the line inside more, so that helped a little bit. And we placed the I'm really careful now to place the base of the crowd control post inside the joint in the concrete, which keeps it the right distance. So as long as those are all there, it's pretty good. And then we put a sign at the end saying, please do not extend the line down this point if it does, so people just come back. So basically that's what we're trying to do. Yeah, and hopefully we'd rather not have to go out there to get people through past it. Try not to do it.
Well, when you have.
Yeah.
And
People seem very happy.
it looks like you've got at least 3 feet between the parking meter.
Mhm.
That was this.
Yeah.
What's the 7.5? Is that 7.5 long?
I think that's the, I mean, it's, the whole width
The
of
width
the
of the
sidewalk,
okay.
so, yeah.
Oh, so this is the 3 feet from the parking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it's got that wonky thing.
Yeah.
Okay. And we've got your certificate of insurance. Oh, it goes for next year, so you're almost there. Trustees, do you have any questions, Frank?
Nope. Thank you.
Make a motion to accept the Woodstock Scoops.
There is that kind.
Oh, yeah, we'll do comments after, yeah.
Well, okay, I'll make a motion that we accept the Woodstock Scoops application for a barrier as described and as shown in the photograph for dates this fall.
Second. Is there any public comment?
Yeah.
Come on up. And give us your name. Just
Roger Logan, Woodstock. First of all, thank you for the work you do. Secondly, I think you should approve this permit for Scott. Because I think he came here with a reasonable expectation based on what's happened in the past. But I also am going to be a pain in the neck and say, if you have a regulation, if you don't enforce the regulation, you don't have a regulation. This structure is clearly in violation of the permit, of the regulation. First of all, the regulation states explicitly that the only things that you can permit are window boxes, planters, benches, and ramps. It doesn't say anything about stanchions for crowd control. Again, maybe the regulation needs to be amended to include other objects. This also 3 feet between the parking meter is a violation of the regulation, which says there will be a minimum of 5 feet between object and a parking meter. So again, I think you should approve this because I think Scott came here with a reasonable expectation that this would be approved. But I think that the town and village should enforce their regulations, and if their regulations don't work, they should change them. Thank you.
I'd like to respond to that just to say that.
Okay, sure.
I do believe that we have power to make variances when situations are determined that we would like to do so. And that this doesn't destroy the regulation. And we have to make a variance.
Okay, I mean, can I respond to that?
But we need to vote on a variance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if the regulation is not enforced consistently, then I would have a reasonable expectation of coming here and saying, I'd like to put a 50-foot long wading pool for very small dogs on the sidewalk.
Go ahead, that'd be awesome.
And have a reasonable expectation based on the fact that you are granting a variance in this situation. So again, I think if the regulation is not working, rewrite the regulation so that people have a clear understanding of what is permitted and what's not permitted. Again, I think Scott has done what he's supposed to do. You should grant him this. But I do think that we should not be in the habit of changing regulations on the fly.
I hear you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Because of that, I think we should make a motion to describe this as a variance,
Also a separate vote. Yeah.
separate vote, allow it as a variance from the regulation. only for the dates and in the manner described.
Okay, so then it's a variance on the width of the sidewalk to go to 3 instead of 5, and then a variance to allow a standard.
Okay.
Okay, you get all that, Eric?
Yeah.
So I make a motion to first have a variance, to allow 3 feet for an object on the sidewalk instead of 5, and to allow a stanchion on the sidewalk. Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now I'd make a motion to approve this permit, from September 18th to October 27th from 12 to 7 p.m. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
I'm not going to leave variances for swimming pools on the.
With little dogs and cats.
Who's the waiting pool, not important.
Thank you for bringing your point up.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it. I took one
And we look forward to you helping us rewrite the ordinances.
there. Okay.
I know you do. Next item on the agenda is a permit from Walks and Wags for use of the East End Park. Is there someone here? Okay. Go ahead and give us your name, where you're from, and talk to us about your permit application, please. Oh, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm Hazel Bordeaux. I'm from North Pomfret. Walks and Wags is my dog walking business that I run with a few friends. And we had the idea to have a fundraiser for Lucy Mack. And then we didn't have a place to do it. And then we found out that you could apply for a permit to do it at a local park. So we chose East End Park. And we want to run a trivia night, which would be based on animals for like families and parents and their kids. And we would have like a sort of pop-up tent, like the ones they use on the green, set up with like a table, the prizes out. And then at like the top of the field, there's like the little walkway, and we would have like a little ticket stand charging like $2 or $3. That's how we make the money for the Humane Society. And then we would have like a donation bin where people could donate extra.
And I see it says certificate of insurance will be covered by the Friends of East End Park.
Yes. I've been working with Emily Friedman to work on that, so yeah.
So we need to get that from her. And how many people do you anticipate?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you very well.
Sorry, how many people do you anticipate?
30 to 60. Not super big.
Does anybody have questions on them? I think my only comment is just where on the map you've got the tickets set up. I would say it looks like it's in the parking. So I recommend it not be in the parking. Maybe put it up next to your tent at the bottom or over in the pergola. That way that you're just away from cars.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And you know that with tents, it can't, there's a rule that it can't go into the ground because we've got, what's it called? An irrigation system.
Yes, okay, yeah.
I don't think I have any other questions. Do you have any?
No.
Frank, do you have any questions for Hazel?
I do not.
Okay, Eric?
I would just say, if they're aware of the fees, if they're asking for the fees to be waived, East End Park has higher fees than the Green. So you're talking right now $100 for an application fee, and then $100 for nonprofits for up to 50 people. So you're talking $30 right there, and then I believe the security deposit as well. So I don't know if they're aware of all that, or if they're asking for some of those fees to be waived, but I just want to bring that up before.
Thank you. Oh, you're right, because we don't have any fees that were received. Are you aware of all the fees that are required, Hazel?
Yes, I was told that those would be handled by Emily.
So your East End Park is paying the fee?
That's what I was told, yes.
Okay. Do we have anybody from East End Park here?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
East End Park is not paying any fee that I'm aware of at all. And I'm a friend of the East End Park. I'm one of 4 people.
Okay. Are you aware of
I also had a question about whether these dogs were going to be on.
Oh yeah, please come up.
Please come up.
Thank you, Lee. And give us your name so we've got it on the record.
Barbara Barry. And I'm a member of the Friends of the East End Park.
Okay.
And I was not aware of this at all.
Okay.
Not heard anything.
Okay. So you don't know Emily saying anything about this, about using your COI? Okay, so we need to get some clarification on that.
Yeah.
I think, and it looks like you've got the date for the 17th.
It was the 24th.
Oh, it says the 17th here. That's August 17th from 5:15 to 7:30.
Yeah, so that ended up getting changed because that would only leave 4 days to advertise. So we changed it. I think I told her about it. She never responded, but.
So it sounds like there's some extra communication that needs to go on with Emily. Oh, okay, there's that. So I'm not comfortable making a decision until we know about fees, until we know about COIs. What does everybody else think?
That's what I think.
I agree. But we have to
Or the date has.
one.
I mean, I can't make a decision on this without having answers to those questions.
This is the first I've heard of this.
Okay. Brenda?
I agree.
Okay. So Hazel, I think where we are, because we don't know about the fees and we don't know about the COIs, I think we're going to table this for right now, because we need to have that option to make a decision. So if you want to follow up with Emily or whoever you need to follow up with, once you get that information, if you can follow up with Eric or Kitty, and then they can let us know what's happening, and we'll figure out where to go from there.
Yep.
But I love this idea, and I really hope we can make it happen. We just need a little more information, that's all. Okay. Thank you, Hazel. Hopefully we'll.
Can I leave the meeting or am I supposed to stay?
Unless you want to hang out. I mean.
Okay.
Fun, but you don't have to be here. Thank you, Hazel. Okay, next item on the agenda is Sustainable Woodstock Pollinator Garden event on East End.
Yeah.
There's somebody. Okay. Okay, let's know who you are and what we're talking about.
So we worked with the Friends of Easton Park and Wild Bee Farm to put in a pollinator garden at the park. And now we'd love to have a chance to share it with a group of people, just talk about pollinators and how our community can support them in their own gardens.
Get up this. This is the 28th of August.
Yes, 6 to 7 p.m. is the event time, with a little buffer on each end for arrivals and departures. And then we're thinking only probably 10 to 30 people, so pretty small.
And there's no infrastructure that you would be setting up, tables, chairs, tents?
No, we'd invite people to bring their own camp chair if they wanted, or a picnic blanket, something like that. But no, we don't even plan to bring a table or anything.
Okay, and it looks like we don't have a fee or a COI.
You should have a COI from our previous event. It should cover us for the year. But for the fees, we were just requesting to have those waived if you guys were open to that. Since we worked to put the garden in, it'd be lovely to have a chance to share it with people.
Kitty, do you have that COI?
It's attached to the.
It's attached.
Oh, it is? Okay, my bad.
It's on there.
Okay, sorry about that. That's my bad.
No worries.
Just get up to it. Okay, it goes till the 2026. Perfect. Okay, discussion?
I think it's a great idea. Thank you for putting that garden in. It's lovely. I think we should wait.
Okay,
I agree.
completely or just some?
Completely.
Okay, Frank, what do you think about waiving the fees?
I'm okay with it.
Okay. Okay, in that case, I would make a motion to approve the application for using East End Park on the 28th of August from 6 to 7 p.m. And waiving the fee because they're the people that actually put in what they're talking about. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the Woodstock Community Celebration Day. It's a permit amendment. Going back up. And give us your name one more time. Just cause.
Barbara Berry. I'm the Friends of the East End Park.
Okay, and you talked to us about
There was a request sent in, I believe, from Durham, to be able to serve alcohol at the start of the community celebration. Moving on Sunday.
and the move, and it's moving it down.
It's going to be down, it's going to be roped off, it's going to be down at the bottom, we wanted to wave from where we have, actually, one of the kids who sells hot candy.
Okay.
So we decided we did not want alcohol up into that area, wanted it down below, plus it's often advantageous because people in that area can also enjoy the music.
Okay, we've got the liquor license all set there.
It's on PGL funds.
Yeah, and Jonna did a really good job of explaining it with her emails and her pictures.
Yeah.
We will use that to tell everybody this is how you do it. She's been excellent in checking
I
that.
will send you that message.
Yes, so I appreciate it. Trustees, do you have any questions or concerns about this?
No.
Opposite of concerns. Thank you.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I just hope everybody comes.
Frank, do you have any questions or concerns about this application?
I do not.
Okay. In that case, I would make a motion to approve the update to this permit for the East End Park, Friends of East End Park, to allow the alcohol to be set up by OYC at the bottom of the hill as presented in the permit. Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any public comments about this permit?
Cotton candy and liquor do not mix.
That you know of.
Never tried it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is the Village Public Trust
The
Fund.
PTO permit.
The what?
PTO.
Oh, the PTO permit. Thank you. Appreciate it. I even wrote it in here. Next is the PTO permit. Sarit, I think you're here to talk about that.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarit Werner, and I am the new PTO president. And I am understand that there's been a tradition of bake sales during foliage. So I'm not exactly sure what kind of support I have on the PTO this year, but I wanted to talk about getting a permit for Saturday, September 27th, Saturday, October 4th, and Saturday, October 11th. Thinking 1 to 3 on the green with a table and chairs, selling bake sale goods for the sole purpose of fundraising for after-school clubs and our children at the Woodstock Elementary School and the Prospect Valley School. I'm not sure how, if I, what kind of support I have for those 3 days. When the fee has to be paid, if the fee can possibly be waived. I know that the COI is coming from Miss Hecker at Woodstock Elementary School. I'm new in this position, so this is my first official foray into my PTO presidential responsibilities.
Okay, so it's 3 Saturdays, the 27th, the 4th, and the 11th from 1 to 3, and you're planning on just baked goods?
Just baked goods and possibly cheese. Yeah, and
Okay.
cheese. Donated like cheese for donation.
And probably just table and a tent?
A tent if it's raining, but if not, it's I'm thinking just a table.
Okay.
But I'm also, if I don't get support, then I might cancel one of those days. I just wanted to put it out there that I'm thinking about those three Saturdays.
Saturday. Would you consider doing this on Sunday?
Would I
Sunday.
consider doing it on Sunday? What was that?
Yeah, Sundays instead of Saturdays. There's so much going on Saturday.
Sure. We could consider doing it on Saturdays. I mean, on Sundays. If you like that better. I was just thinking about my schedule, but I can consider doing it on Sundays for sure. If that works. Let's move my request to all the the 28th, the 5th, and the 12th. Also 1 to 3, I think is best.
Okay. Trustees, do you have any other questions or concerns for Sarit? Frank?
Nope. Thank you.
Okay. And Sarit, I don't know if you were in the beginning, but we're going to be talking more about food on the green during foliage later. So we're going to be talking about the fees because we usually do fees a little differently on the green during foliage because we are in desperate need of food. So, oh, I thought we put this, they wanted it on the green.
Oh.
No, yes, I do want it on the green.
Yes, she wants it on the green.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll have Kitty or Eric follow up with you on that piece.
Sure. On the fee piece?
On the fee. Obviously, we need the COI, but we'll have them follow up with you on the fee from whatever we decide later today. Or later.
Okay. Yes, I just wanted to plant some seeds and just get the motion, get it rolling.
Sounds good.
And Seton, I have the COI from Tiffany. She sent me the new one for the Mountain Valley Supervisor Union. So she's good we're good for the whole year for any events that they have.
Okay. Thank you, Kitty. I would make a motion to approve the application from the Woodstock and Prosper Valley PTO to sell baked goods on September 28th, October 5th, and October 12th on the green. Is there a second? All in favor say, I'm sorry, is there any discussion from the public? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Sarit.
Thank you, Seton. Thanks all.
Next, now we'll hear from the Village Public Trust about the Village Public Trust Funds. Come on up. Tell us your name and who you are and what you're talking about.
So I'm Jill Davis. I'm your trustee of public funds village. And it's time for us to have our annual discussion about what to do. So it's a decision that we agreed I and you make together. So I come with a proposal and I'd like to go through those together. Okay, so we have 3 funds and let's go through them one by one. So we have the Orley Whitcomb Fund and the balance of that is about 78,000. Last year, we agreed to spend $5,000 toward the cost of the community care coordinator. And we agreed that we would make this donation annually, so long as the fund, so long as the $5,000 was between 5 and 8% of the fund value. and it's 6.4%. So I would propose that this money is pays for the community care.
Has that person been hired?
Yes, Carol has been
Okay.
all year. So this is a partially paying for them. Some of the money comes from Mount Scutney. They're managed through the Thompson Center and by a group of organizations in town, the Hub, the Thompson Center, Otapuchi Health Foundation, so that she works with all of those social services organizations.
Awesome. Thank you.
So do you agree that one? Do you want to make proposal one by one or all together?
Oh, go ahead.
I move that we agree with the proposal for $5,000 for the community care coordinator for this year's fiscal year.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any public discussion on this issue? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries on that.
Okay, next one. The old fire station fund, the balance of that is 26,567. Last year, we agreed to propose to village voters 1,700 annual disbursement toward the tree fund. This is the only decision that we can't make. It has to be voters. It can be at a regular meeting. We never actually got to make that. We never got to take that decision to a meeting. So I propose that we make a we have 1,700 from last year. We make another 1,700 this year, and we take this to the next select board meeting to ask the public to approve $3,400 towards the tree.
Question about that. Is this select board? The purpose of the village.
I'm sorry, I'll misread it. To the next meeting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Yep, I move that we do what was just proposed, a $3,400 payment to the tree fund to be proposed to the village going for fiscal year 2026. That includes funds from 2025. So to add up to $3,400.
And can we note that it goes in the September meeting?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Right. Okay, the third one.
Oh, wait.
We have a
Oh, sorry.
I second. Is there any public discussion about this item? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the third fund is the Frank McKenzie fund. So the balance of this is 4,406. And I propose that we disperse the full amount of this for the 2026 July 4th fireworks. Those are the donor wishes, and then we close them. It costs us more to keep a small fund like that open than to do any good, so we might as well spend the money before.
I have a question.
Sure.
They don't know what's going to happen with the fireworks next July, correct?
The select board is working with an individual and their forming committee to try to make it happen, correct?
Okay.
There was a potential increase in the cost.
Right.
But we're waiting on a contract from the company to ensure we have it.
Okay.
We have a kind of a date.
Right now, the only date available is July 5th, which is a Sunday. July 3rd and 4th have been booked for a number of years. Yeah.
Oh, there's only one day off. Well, this might help them. So, but if we approve this, they'll have an additional $4,406 for any increased cost.
Okay.
And this is the 250th anniversary of the country, so it's a big year for that and a reason to have power. So I would make a motion that we agree with Bill's proposal to disperse the full amount, frankly, Fancy Fund, close it out to use for 2026 July 4th fireworks.
Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any public discussion on this? In that case, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries.
Great. So, thank you. So I'll write the disbursement checks now for, the Orly Whitcomb Fund and the Frank McKenzie. Who shall I make the Frank McKenzie one payable to?
You have to write that one down. Off on that.
Well, can it go into,
Just go into a fund, so it's done.
Yeah, you could, town of Woodstock when we allocate it to the firework fund.
And then I'll write the check for the audit fee. And then after the September meeting, we'll do the tree fund, and then that's the year's list.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay, next item on the agenda is, I wanted to move we moved the parking ordinance conversation up. So I'm gonna hand it. Well, I think we went through it. Jill, do you need to go through the Rockefeller Fund? Oh, sorry. Oh, good catch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So do you all have this in front of you?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Jill Davis. I live in the village, and this time I've got my hat on of a member of the investment advisory. So we come and report to you once a year about how the fund is performing, and then our other action is to pay and the endowment fund's contribution to village taxes and town tax. And once you agree your FY 2026, we can decide what that amount is. Okay, so it's good news again in that the fund total for the end of the year was 2,193,243. So it went up 7.5%. And that money is in stocks and bonds, and then a local fund and one community loan fund as well. There's 125 in there. That's increasing every year. We got to 7% even though we made 87,500 payment to the town and village last year. We made a change this year that we were 60-40, 60% to stocks, 40% to bonds. And with your agreement, we changed that to 75-25. So 75% are in stock and 25% in bonds. And all of that money is invested in low-cost Vanguard index. And you can see on the graph that those funds have just performed like the market, which is what we chose them for. Everything's been in 1%, within 1%. Stocks and bonds. And some occasionally they outperform. So this fund is your responsibility. So we're just reporting to you that it's all okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll move on to the parking ordinances. Lisa, I'll turn it over to you.
Hi, everyone. So there's been considerable work on this. Thank you, all your participants. It has gone through the proper channels. And we are at a point now where we have to decide whether or not we are going to sign this ordinance. There is two parts to this. There is the parking ordinance, Title 8, Chapter 3 parking ordinances. And the second one is the Village of Woodstock parking fee schedules. So there's two separate things there. We're there. So it's a matter of any discussion. I feel we're at a place, and Eric, I think you're with me on this, and Michelle, we're at a place where, you know, we're ready. Everything is correct. We think the legal words are correct. So it's a matter of moving forward from this. So I'm throwing it back.
Well, in reviewing it, 5 questions.
Of course you do. Okay, go ahead. I was joking with you. Go ahead.
Okay, and some of these are just questions. In terms of the wording, you want it using it now?
Yeah.
Page by page?
Yeah, just give
All right.
page by page, but enlist the number that you're at.
Okay, page 2. Parking limit.
Well, which number is that?
8305.
Thank you. Yep.
Question under the second stop there, next to the green, meters on South Park and North Park. Route 4 West. North Park. Are there meters on North Park Street?
Mm-hmm.
Where? I mean, the ones
Along
that,
the green.
Along the green.
okay, so you're calling kiosks meters.
Well,
It's metered.
it's metered parking.
Okay, that was my question.
Yep.
It says meters. And there are kiosks there versus.
Yep.
You want to be specific about what's out there? If there are no meters.
Well, I guess the question is, if we get specific, what if we change? So I think the vaguest term would be correct, right? I'm looking over at Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I want to look at the definition you have for metered parking.
Oh, we don't,
We have a definition for metered parking. Yeah, we do.
have parking space.
No, there's metered parking. We do talk about parking payments, which talks about including but not including the types of payments and parking payment system, which does cover, and that's under 8304. So that does cover it, talking about the payment that are not limited to parking meters, parking costs. So do you want to change it? If you go back to 8304 and look under parking payment system, and including but not limited to parking meters, parking kiosks, and parking apps. I mean, is what you're saying is that my concern is, what if we don't have metered parking there anymore and we go to something else? So how do we address that so we don't tie ourselves into something?
Well, my suggestion would be we create another definition for whatever term we're going to use for any parking that you can pay for by the hour. So whether that is metered parking.
Yeah, if you want to, yes, if you want to say meters includes kiosks.
Well, yeah, I'm going to say, well, we can call it metered parking or whatever, and then say metered parking includes parking with physical parking meters, kiosks, or mobile payment. Does that make sense, Lisa?
Well, I have to figure out exactly where I'm writing this. So fill me in again.
The other definitions.
Which number is that?
So under 8304 with the definitions, if we decide that what we want to use is the term metered parking, or if there's something better, but it's hourly parking maybe is what we call it.
I think hourly parking would be better.
Okay.
Only because then we'd take away the metered versus coin versus.
Okay. I mean, it's metered, the definition of metered being meeting out. Roger, you're looking at me like you know what the better word is.
Well, this is
No, metered is fine.
Metered is fine. That puts you metered and meters.
Yeah. So if we call it metered parking,
I don't even know where we're at.
We're just not add a definition. So yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll create a definition for metered parking and say it is any parking where payment is made by the hour, whether by physical parking meter, kiosk, online payment, or any other payments.
Can you slow down for 1 second?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Repeat that?
So I mean, I think we can, if we're making the change, we're not going to vote on the ordinance tonight. So I think we can maybe get the definition for it later, and we'll move to that.
Okay. And I'm happy to work with you. And then we'll go through, and anywhere that it says meters, we can change it to metered parking so that if we do make changes, then we can do that.
All right. Next, Jeffrey.
Next is, there's a few lines down, 2-hour free parking on Elm Street between the last meter and Pleasant Street, and the ability to purchase full-day parking permit limited to permit.
On this one?
Yeah.
I have no idea where you are.
Here, 2-hour free parking on Main Street.
Yep.
My question is this: in the past, I thought that the permits were limited to businesses. Are we not? Are we changing that to anybody?
Well,
Talked about businesses and/or.
I went broader because we only have 2 right now that are out there. Only 2 people pay for that. So shouldn't we try to
Cast a wider net.
cast a wider net because they're actually paying? And they have to, if they don't have space, but we're actually getting, I'd like to get more than $70, $140. So I'd like to open that up because there's only $140 right now. And I'd like to see if we can get more people out there who would pay this besides businesses.
Okay, well, besides businesses, there was also a thought of having an over 65 or older. That was brought up once. Yeah. Well,
Was talked about, but nobody ever made a decision about that.
If now's the time we need to discuss it, have this in here. One of those who can apply for those permits. I don't think there's anything in here that tells you.
I'd rather keep it broad.
I'd rather
because
keep it
we have
broad.
restrictions for Mechanic Street is employees, and then we've got the 2 spots that are reserved for residents who don't have other parking. So I'd rather keep it as broad as we can, especially since there doesn't seem to be anybody clamoring for it.
I don't think most people know that this.
Yeah, and so we need to do a good job of that.
Yeah, people don't know that they can buy a permit for those spots on Elm Street. And do we want to make that available to anybody, or should we make it available to the older part of the population?
I think we should make it available to anybody because the older population doesn't tend to spend 6 hours in a parking space. And if other people have already taken those spaces, you know, it's not a assigned spot. So you have to show up at the right time. People are just as happy to, I think, use the meters. I don't see this as I don't think we're doing, and I may be incorrect, but I don't think we're doing any additional favor for 65 and over when they have the options of coming in before the hours of 10, after the hours of 4, coin meters that we've made available. So it's not all kiosks. I think we give them, and here I am, I'm 65 and older. So I'm thinking that isn't really, I think that if we want to address that actual issue, we should address it at another point and not here.
One discussion. I'm not that hard on this one.
Yeah, I think at another time we should have that discussion.
Limited to 6 permits and open to all residents of Woodstock. Don't we need to put something in there about who can apply?
Yeah, I think it should be residents of Woodstock or employees, owners of businesses.
Yes. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Employees, owners, or residents.
Do the 2 people who have the permit, are they residents of Woodstock? Okay. All right.
Residents plus employees or owners. Okay. All right. Next, page 3. Under County Street permit parking, it says, very last dotted one, it says Saturday is open anywhere in Mechanic Street lot. Is the parking permit properly displayed? I don't believe that currently on Saturdays, the parking permit needs to be displayed. On Saturday, that lot is open to the public completely.
All right, we'll take that out.
But you would need to display your permit so that you don't pay.
No, Saturdays you don't need a permit.
Saturdays right now. Yeah.
Mechanic Street is but not the meter fee.
No, we're talking about the Mechanic Street lot.
Okay.
All right, that's out.
That's what this is.
Oh, I think of the Mechanic Street lot as the entire
No,
lot.
no.
Do we have that defined?
Yes.
Okay. You have the Mechanic Street lot.
The other question I have is this might be a question, the one just preceding it. Now, currently overnight parking adjacent to the information center is prohibited. And parking overnight is subject to being ticketed and towed away at the owner's expense. Why are we prohibiting that during the week?
That came over from the last ordinance.
Well, I think we should discuss that. I mean, maybe you want to prohibit it during the safety.
No, there's a reason why that it continued in a second.
Can we define these lots a little better? Because we're talking about Mechanic Street permit parking, and then you're talking about the same space as the parking adjacent to the information
That's
center.
different.
These are different things?
Well, no, that's the one, the side that's by the, that's more easterly side, Mechanic Street permit parking space. The side adjacent to the information center, the easterly side.
It's not the easterly side.
Oh, it's not the easterly side?
It's the
side that goes up against the fence.
There are places next.
Brook side, not
Yes.
back side.
Just the two spaces that are, see, this is why I feel like we need definitions for these spaces. So what,
Okay, so the ones, you're talking about the ones that are parking meters, Michelle, is that what you're saying, by the brook?
right there by the brook. So overnight parking adjacent to the information center, what parking is that talking about?
Yeah, it's not clear.
I thought it was not that next to the brook.
So did I.
I don't get that
The
being,
parking spaces right behind the information center are adjacent to the information center.
I would call that parking adjacent to the street, and that's what, just two spots? Okay.
Great.
Michelle, would you mind just coming up?
Oh, yeah.
So we hear you for the record, sorry.
Can we call that and then create a definition for those spots so that we know exactly what that is? And if you want to call them the three brook spots,
Michelle and I can work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
and then
Yep.
whatever you decide to call them, add it to the definition
All right.
But
section.
it's not just that, my other point. Why do they have to be ticketed and towed away when it's not snow plow, in the way, or it's not that?
And we've had some overnight parking there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, there's overnight parking in certain spots. We can just remove that.
Yeah.
We'll just remove it. No problem.
what, is there a separate ordinance about sleeping in your car?
No.
Okay.
Actually, no.
Okay. Is that a parking thing or is that a different thing?
That's a police matter, not a parking thing.
Well, but if it's parking somewhere and sleeping in your car, that's a totally different deal?
Yeah, that's not here.
Okay.
Because this is all about, this isn't human. This is mobiles,
Okay.
meters. So that'd be, we don't have any human contact in any of these areas. We should, but I'm just saying, we don't have it here. It's-
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Okay. Well, unless somebody has something sooner, I have something on page 5.
I had something on page 2
Oh,
to go back to the Mechanic Street parking lot, and I asked Lisa about this earlier, and I just want to have it clarified in here about the 16 permits that can be purchased when people, if I say I have 2 permits, I don't have to go into the lottery system every year. It's automatically renewed unless we want people to go into the lottery system every year so that it keeps bringing things up. But I think we should define whether you have a permit, you just renew it, or do you have to go back into the lottery system?
You can take out lottery system because they just now it's just renewed.
Yeah, but if there's 3 spots open, then there's a lottery, right?
Not right now, it's first come, it's first come.
You have a waiting list.
There's a waiting list.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
Yes.
In a lot.
Okay, so there is no lotteries.
No.
And there's no waiting list.
Not right now.
Yeah.
And so so in the past, if somebody left, you would just call the next person on the list?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next question on that,
Sorry, do we want to get rid of the word lottery system there? And that,
Yeah,
and then the next question on that would be, how many permits are we allowing per person?
we haven't even discussed that anywhere.
Okay.
It's never been discussed, and it's multiple companies have multiple permits there, like Farrow's has 4, 5. So we've
Well, but
never,
at some point, they won't, right? So like,
Right.
if we're future proofing this ordinance, we can make a decision now that we want to keep doing that, or we don't want to keep doing that. Because if parking is going to remain something that is at a premium, like, it would be weird if somebody came in and was like, I want all 16 spots, like
How
that.
many does Sarah have now? 4?
Yes.
So why don't we add in there a maximum of 4 so that he can retain that? Maximum 4 to anyone.
It could always grandfather them in too, in the future.
Yeah, but so he wouldn't lose anything. Why don't we put in there that a maximum of 4 for any business?
does anyone else have more than 4?
I mean, I think in the future, like, I'm okay grandfathering in somebody who currently owns things and can continue to renew them, but if what we're doing with zoning and all these things to get more people to live here, to get more businesses, there's going to be more of a demand for especially employee parking. So I think in the future, it would make sense to be like, okay, each business everybody gets, you max out at 2, and if there's any left over, yeah, you can have the next 2 or something, but.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that, and as long as you grandfather.
But I'm happy to grandfather everybody in and say,
Okay.
it's yours until you, whatever.
Okay, so you want to put a maximum of 2.
2 per person.
This.
Well, for business, and also like, we have a thing here there's 2 spots that are reserved for
non.
for residents that don't have any other access.
Yeah.
But I think that should go to 2 different residents.
No, they should.
Yeah, so like include that in there for the 2 permits that are reserved for local residents. That's 1 per household or whatever it is.
Yes.
That's all I have.
The next one I have is on 45, it's a simple one. One says winter park. Parking is banned upon any roadway between the hours of 12:01 a.m. and 6 a.m. from November 15th and April 15th. I think that "and" should be deleted. It should say from November 15th through November.
Oh, yeah.
Just change it to word.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to reach you? That was.
Okay. Anything else?
On page 6, a similar type of correction on the Church Street. The second dot down, the south side of the roadway from the westerly boundary, it should be westerly. To the westerly, and then drop the word "the" for intersection. It's very difficult to understand the direction. At least
Is there a chance that any of these numbers would get superseded?
No,
Okay, so it's like, it's on the corner.
it's on the corner. Every number that's on here, we've gone
So
through
81
and
Central,
checked.
27 Pleasant,
Yep,
like, there's
yeah.
not gonna be a 29.
If there is, there's nothing we can do about it.
Well, we'd have to update the ordinance.
Right, but
Yeah.
we have to do, based on the state law, we have to do specific street address.
Do you? Okay.
So we can't say if there's going to be a 29, we can't say it has to be very specific.
Okay.
So the
That's fine.
attorney told us, yeah.
Thank you.
So those are 2. I don't have anything on page 10, so somebody else. For them,
Page what?
page 10, but if somebody has to do for them. Otherwise, I have page 10.
So the Linden Hill, when it talks about the driveway leading to Hawthorne Hill condominiums, should that be a number instead? On page 7 under Linden Hill.
Yeah.
Dot number 2. Point number 2.
West Island Road, when you take south to the north, outlay, leaving.
Because that could change to Bob's condominiums.
Well, Hawthorne Hill, no, Hawthorne Hill is the name of the area.
I know, but Hawthorne's Hill.
You want a street number? We can do that.
I mean, do the condominiums have a number? Okay.
Yeah, they got them there.
Yep.
What do you want then?
What's the Homo property?
That is East End Park. That should have been changed. Isn't it? Isn't it?
It says under Pleasant Street, municipal parking lot. North side of the roadway from 20 feet westerly of the entrance to the municipal parking lot, and
that should say East End Park. I missed that one. I have it a couple other places, but.
And the same sort of thing with the address for St. James. That turned into.
Where is that? Oh, St. James.
Whatever, yeah. I changed to Holy Cross.
I can't find it, so.
On page 8, under Prospect Street. The church I grew up going to. Named after a saint, what do you expect? Yeah, so instead of in front of St. James Episcopal Church, say in front of whatever their address is.
We ran into that difficulty, remember, Michelle? Because we couldn't figure out what address it is. Because we've got problems with the parish house versus because at the St. James Episcopal Church actual address is not on Prospect Street.
Number 2 St. James Place?
Is not on, it is actually on Route 4. It's actually on
it was number 2 St. James Place, not a real address?
Technically, no.
What is the 911 address?
But for number 2 St. James is really what is that down there? Pleasant, not Pleasant, down Church. Yeah, it's technically 2 Church. Prospect doesn't have any buildings technically on it. According to I did the Lister and I did 911.
Okay.
So technically is no building on Prospect because the main entrance is not the church entrance, it's the office entrance, which is on Elm Church.
Okay.
So there's if you look at it, parsonage is here.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah. So technically there's no building on Prospect.
So is there another name?
I don't know what to call it because there's technically nothing on that street.
I think it's gonna be there for a long time. Maybe that's.
I mean, we can just take out in front of St. James, but the church isn't technically there, so we can just take out in front of St. James Episcopal Church and completely take it out, and then it's done.
Yeah, it works for that section.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just take it out.
So what is this? So is this not called St. James Place? In front of the church?
The church, in front of the church is Prospect.
In front of the church is St. James.
It's not technically St. James when it comes to what we went through with both the regulations from the state and
I mean, I guess my question is, instead of
It's
saying,
actually Prospect Street, it's not St. James.
so Prospect just curves? It makes a right angle?
Michelle, help me.